This is the first of a little series I'm going to do where I'll try and tell the stories of slaves during the early 20th century. Yes, slaves during the 20th century in America who were legally enslaved. Like, they were not breaking any laws by doing this. I'm going to tell these stories, and I'm starting with Archer and QF Lewis, two children stolen by John W. Pace. We know almost nothing about these boys. All we know is their names, Archer and QF Lewis, their age, that they were 12 and 10 respectively, their gender, that they were brothers, their race, that they were black, the fact that they were not able to read, like most black people during that time, from remnants of the literacy bans in slave era. Because if your parents can't read, and you're not allowed to go to school, how are you really going to be able to learn how to read? If no one help you learn how to read, it's going to be very hard to learn, especially if you have no books near you to even have the chance to read. And the last bit of information that we know is their occupation. That is it. We know absolutely nothing else about these young boys who were stolen, who were enslaved almost 40 years after slavery was supposed to be abolished. They're forced to work in the bleeding hot sun under watch of armed guards and locked up at night. We don't know what circumstances led to this. Maybe they were directly ripped from the hands of the mamas. Maybe it happened when they were playing catch with their dad. Maybe they were just playing with their dad, just hanging out, just bonding, and then they were stolen. Maybe their parents had to sell them. We don't know. On the largest database in the history of mankind, even on that, there's absolutely nothing. There's not even a mention of their name. Not a single sentence. I try to tell the story of these boys because we can't let their names die in vain. I believe that there is two deaths. Once, when you breathe for the last time, and again, when someone utters your name for the last time. We don't have the stories. We don't have the stories to really keep them truly alive, but we can at least say their names. We can keep the names in our hearts. We can never forget the names of these boys. Archer Lewis and QF Lewis. So that we can try and at least sing about them a little bit. So we can try and keep them alive for just a little bit longer. I'm going to be telling the stories of many more slaves in the coming days. But I must also stress, these were not isolated incidents. This is all over the South. And people would be taken, no court records, no nothing, never heard from again. Never likely saw their families again. Maybe they never even left that plantation for the rest of their lives. They spent the rest of their lives incarcerated. They spent the rest of their time on this earth, on a plantation, working to make someone else rich. Keep their names in your hearts and never forget Archer Lewis and QF Lewis.